Boston bombing, amputees facing a new reality and a grueling road to recovery. Our health columnist here at the Wall Street Journal, Melinda Beck, she's been reporting on the technology and some of the treatments that may help these victims. Now, Melinda, at least 13 patients, by one count, have lost one or more limbs and being amputated at Boston hospitals. Just what types of amputations are we seeing?
Well, they were all lower limbs, as far as we understand. Many of them beneath the knee, which in terms of recovery is better than above the knee. But there's some in that
new prosthetic, right?
There are some in that situation too, and several of those 13, I think 5 or 6 of them lost both limbs, both legs. But as you say, the technology is really light years beyond where it was just even 10 years ago. There's all kinds of prostheses out there, and as we've seen, people can run in the Olympics with artificial legs. There are all kinds of new technology that will allow the patient to control them, to help ambulate, to help do all kinds of other things that limbs can do.
Is a lot of it about the materials that the limbs are being made of? I mean, I know they were made with much heavier materials in the past, but with carbon fiber, I mean, is it just the lightness is key here?
The lightness is key, and there's quite a variety too, depending on the individual patient and what kind of lifestyle they have and what their goals are. I was actually speaking to the head of psychological services at Boston Medical Center just before I came on, and he said one of the things they do when patients are out of shock and out of the acute phase of this is really talk about what their goals are. Do they want to be able to dance again? Were they skiers?
Right.
What kind of life do they live, and how close can they approximate what they were doing? That's really very important, because then you have a goal to work for.
Right off the bat, versus focusing on what you're not going to be able to do anymore. Yes. Saying, look, we have the technology to hopefully get you back as close as possible to living life the way it was before this happened. The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, I must assume that has helped spark some of this technology.
Yes, and not only just the technology in the prosthesis sense, but also in the psychological sense. As this expert was telling me, there's a National Center for PTSD that we can hopefully flash the URL up on the screen a little bit later. That they know quite a bit about this now, and he was also saying that for anybody who was in the immediate vicinity of this may well be having psychological symptoms, which would include inability to sleep, inability to concentrate, irritability, crying, those kinds of things. If anybody is in that shape, they should see a psychological expert. And he had one very good suggestion too, which I'm going to pass along because I like it so much. And he said, one of the best ways to get over a trauma like this, whether you're an injured victim or somebody who was nearby or somebody who is just home and shattered, volunteer. Get outside of yourself. It's one of the best ways to recover personally as well as doing something for the community. And it doesn't have to be immediately related to this incident, but you can give blood no matter where you are in the country. Seek out volunteer opportunities. Churches, mosques, synagogues, hospitals often need volunteers of all different kinds. People need rides to appointments, things like that.
Very good advice, and of course, hopefully there'll be an entire network of people out there reaching out to these people in Boston to sort of help them find those opportunities. Melinda Beck, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.